In June 2025, the Wall Street Journal published an investigation into the recreational vehicle industry, one that insiders say many companies would have preferred never reached print. The investigation asked a question that every person who has ever bought a new RV already knows the answer to but cannot explain. Why are brand new units leaking on the dealer lot? Why does one manufacturer have more active recalls than any automobile company in the United States? And why do repair technicians across the country tell the same story, that the machines coming off the factory floor today are getting worse every single year? We are going to answer those questions today, but we are going to go further than the journal did, because the journal identified the symptoms. We are going to show you the disease. In this investigation, we are going to expose 3 specific engineering failures hiding inside every modern RV. We are going to show you the laminated wall construction scam that turns your investment into a biohazard the moment it rains. We are going to show you the warranty system that is deliberately designed to exhaust you into abandoning your claim. And we are going to expose the private equity playbook that has systematically destroyed every heritage brand you grew up trusting, one acquisition at a time. And at the end, we are going to show you the 3 smarter options you should actually put your money into. Because the answer is not to stop exploring, the answer is to stop buying what they are selling. When you walk onto a recreational vehicle dealership lot today, you believe you are looking at a competitive marketplace. You see names like Airstream, Keystone, Heartland, Tiffin, Coachman, and Jayco lined up across acres of asphalt. The branding is different. The price points are different. The salespeople will tell you about the unique heritage and craftsmanship behind each name. Every word of that pitch is a lie. The reality is that 2 corporations, Thor Industries and Forest River, control approximately 75% of the entire recreational vehicle market in the United States. These 2 companies have spent the last 2 decades executing a systematic acquisition strategy, buying up every independent competitor in sight and folding them into a centralized manufacturing operation that prioritizes volume above every other metric. Keystone is Thor, Heartland is Thor, Jayco is Thor, Coachman is Forest River. When you think you are choosing between competing craftsmen, you are choosing between departments inside the same factory system. The branding is a costume. Underneath it, the same cost-cutting decisions, the same cheap materials, and the same piece rate compensation model are making every unit on that lot. These are not RV companies that happen to go public. These are investment vehicles that happen to build RVs. There is a meaningful difference between those 2 things, and it will cost you $80,000 to learn it if you are not paying attention right now. The destruction of quality in the modern RV begins before a single piece of material is cut. It begins with how the workers who build your vehicle are paid. In the automotive industry, factory workers are compensated by the hour. When a worker on a car assembly line spots a misaligned panel or a wiring connection that is not seated correctly, he stops. He flags it. He fixes it. The clock is still running. His paycheck is not affected by the delay. The incentive structure rewards doing the job right. In the recreational vehicle industry, workers are paid by piece rate. They are compensated based on how many units exit the factory door each day. Every worker on the line, from framing to finish, earns more money when the line moves faster. When a worker stops to correct a problem, he is not being diligent. From the perspective of his paycheck, he is being negligent. He is costing himself money. He is costing his co-workers money. The social and financial pressure on that factory floor points in one direction: keep moving. This is not a theory about what might happen. This is the explanation for what repair technicians see every single day when they open up a unit that left the factory 6 months ago. Screws driven through the backs of microwaves because the installer was working at speed. Furnace flues that terminate 2 inches from the exhaust vent they are supposed to connect to. Electrical wiring stapled straight through the center of a steel frame member instead of being routed around it, because routing takes time and time costs money. You pull your brand new vehicle off the lot. You drive 3 hours to your first campsite. You plug into shore power and the breaker trips. You turn on the furnace and the carbon monoxide detector screams. You open a cabinet and it falls off the wall because the hinges were screwed into particle board instead of a solid backing plate. These are not random defects that slip through quality control. There is no quality control. Piece rate pay is the quality control system, and it controls for exactly one thing: speed. We have spoken to dealership service managers who have been in the industry for 20 years. They say the same thing without variation. The units coming in today have more factory defects per vehicle than anything they saw a decade ago. And when we asked them what RV they drive personally, not a single one said they drive the brands they sell. But the factory floor crimes are visible. You can find a misrouted wire. You can reconnect a flue. The truly catastrophic engineering failure in the modern RV is one you cannot see at all, not until the damage is already irreversible. For most of the history of the recreational vehicle industry, the structural walls of a unit were built around an aluminum frame. Aluminum does not rust, it does not rot, it does not absorb water. It is light, strong, and hostile to the conditions that destroy vehicles over time. Building with it costs more, so Thor and Forest River stopped building with it. What replaced it is called laminated sandwich wall construction. The process works like this. Manufacturers take a sheet of fiberglass for the exterior skin. They glue it to a core material, and here is where the crime happens. The industry standard core material is a cheap wood product called Luan plywood. They glue the fiberglass to the Luan, glue the Luan to a block of expanded polystyrene foam for insulation, and then glue an interior panel on the other side. The result is a wall that looks solid, feels solid, and will perform acceptably under exactly one condition, that it never gets wet. Your vehicle is vibrating down the highway at 70 miles per hour. It is doing this in rain, in temperature swings between freezing and 100 degrees Fahrenheit, in road grime and ultraviolet radiation. Every mile of that stress is working on the seals along your roofline, around your slide-outs, and at every penetration point where a pipe or wire exits through the exterior. Those seals are made of a rubber compound that degrades over time. They will crack, water will get in. And the moment water contacts Luan plywood inside a sealed wall cavity, a countdown begins. The adhesive bond that holds the laminated assembly together begins to dissolve. The wood begins to absorb moisture and swell. Mold colonizes the cavity. The wood softens, then rots. The structural integrity of the wall is gone. From the outside, the first sign you will see is the exterior skin beginning to bubble and separate from the substrate. The industry term for this is delamination. And once delamination begins, the unit is chemically and structurally beyond repair. You cannot open the wall and re-glue it. The adhesive requires a clean, dry surface to bond to, and there is no clean, dry surface left. You cannot dry out rotted wood and restore its structural properties. The unit is a total loss, not a damaged unit, not a unit in need of repair, a total loss. No dealership will accept it as a trade-in. No insurance policy covers gradual deterioration. Your $80,000 asset is worth nothing. Composite core materials that are impervious to water exist and are available to manufacturers right now. They cost approximately 4 to 6% more per unit. Thor and Forest River have looked at that cost and decided that you will absorb the consequences of not using them. That decision was made in a boardroom by people who will never sleep in one of these vehicles. Every new recreational vehicle sold in the United States comes with a manufacturer warranty. The warranty exists to create the impression that the manufacturer stands behind the product. It is one of the primary selling points a dealer uses to close the transaction. What the dealer does not explain, and what you will only discover after something goes wrong, is how the warranty process actually works. When you return to the dealership with a defect, the dealer cannot authorize a single repair without approval from the manufacturer. This is not an industry norm that grew organically. It is a deliberate structural choice by the manufacturers to put a bureaucratic wall between your problem and its solution. The dealer photographs the damage. The dealer submits a claim packet to a regional representative. The representative reviews the packet and decides whether to approve the claim, how many labor hours to authorize, and whether the required part is available. Every one of those steps takes time. The combined process routinely requires 3 to 6 months. During those 3 to 6 months, your vehicle is sitting in a dealer parking lot. You are making monthly loan payments on a vehicle you cannot use. You are paying insurance on a vehicle you cannot access. You have no legal leverage to accelerate the process because the warranty agreement you signed specifies that the manufacturer has a reasonable period to complete repairs, and the manufacturer's definition of reasonable is not your definition of reasonable. The claim is often partially denied. The manufacturer approves the repair but disputes the labor hours, or they approve the labor hours but declare the required part on back order with no estimated availability date. With each new obstacle, the emotional and financial cost of pursuing the claim increases. The manufacturer is not hoping you resolve this. The manufacturer is hoping you give up. For a significant percentage of claimants, that is exactly what happens. California saw more than 22,000 lemon law cases in 2024. That number is not a spike caused by one bad production run. It is a trend line that has been climbing for years, driven by the systematic decision to prioritize production volume over quality control. And even the names that meant something are gone now. Tiffin was a family business for over 50 years. When Thor acquired the company in 2020, that culture ended overnight. Owners of post-acquisition Tiffins are already reporting quality control issues that were unheard of under family ownership. The name is still on the door. The company that earned that name no longer exists. None of this means you abandon the idea of exploring the country in a vehicle you can sleep in. It means you stop walking into dealerships and expecting the dealership system to serve your interests. It was not built to serve your interests. It was built to move inventory. Once you accept that, 3 paths open up. The first path is the pre-acquisition buy. Every brand that Thor or Forest River now owns was better before they owned it. The craftsmanship, the material quality, and the service culture of those companies existed under the original ownership and eroded after the acquisition. This means there is a specific vintage of each brand that represents the last generation built to the original standard. For Tiffin, that line is 2020. Bob Tiffin ran his company with a level of personal accountability that is essentially extinct in publicly traded manufacturing. He answered his own phone. He personally authorized warranty repairs when dealers could not resolve them. Customers have documented calling the Tiffin factory and reaching Bob Tiffin directly. That culture did not survive the sale to Thor. A Tiffin Allegro bus from 2018 was built under that culture. A Tiffin Allegro bus from 2023 was not. Learn the acquisition dates for every brand you are considering and buy the last model year before the sale. The second path is factory direct, and it is the path that best illustrates how deep the problem runs. Born Free Motor Coach, built in Humboldt, Iowa, was the clearest example of what this industry could be. It was best known for a mostly factory direct model, building units to order in a single facility where the same company that framed the walls also dealt directly with customers when problems came up. Minimal dealer dependence, no quarterly earnings call, no vinyl decals peeling off after one summer. Aluminum wall construction instead of laminated Luan. Every dollar saved by selling direct went back into the materials. The sticker price was higher. The lifetime cost was dramatically lower. Born Free no longer manufactures new units. That company, the one that chose quality over volume, could not survive in a market that rewards the opposite. That fact alone tells you everything you need to know about the state of this industry, which is exactly why the third path is the one that matters most. The third path is the most unconventional, and it is the one that represents the best combination of reliability, value, and build quality available to an American buyer right now: the 2-5-year import rule. Federal law permits American citizens to import any foreign market vehicle once it reaches 25 years of age. Japan produces camper vans at a commercial-grade build standard that has no domestic equivalent. The Toyota Hiace and Toyota Camroad are the primary targets. These vehicles were not designed for weekend camping trips. The base engines, 3 0-liter turbo diesel units, are the same power plants installed in commercial delivery and utility trucks. They are designed and tested for 500,000 miles of daily commercial operation before requiring a major overhaul. Japan's mandatory vehicle inspection program, called Shaken, becomes prohibitively expensive as a vehicle ages. The cost of compliance increases sharply past 10 years, which creates a rational incentive for Japanese owners to sell their vehicles before the inspection costs exceed the vehicle's value to them. The result is a steady supply of 2-5-year-old Toyota camper vans entering the export market with 30,000 to 45,000 miles on the odometer. The engine is barely broken in. The interior, built with real wood, quality hardware, and thoughtful use of space, is often in better condition than a new domestic unit at twice the price. You can source one of these vehicles for $20,000 to $30,000 all in, including import fees. A new American Class B camper van starts at $100,000 and loses 30 to 40% of its value in the first 2 years. The imported Toyota depreciates to approximately zero. It has already done that work over the 25 years before you bought it. 5 years from now, the Toyota will be worth roughly what you paid for it. The new domestic van will be worth half. Here is what the corporations are counting on. They are counting on the LED lighting packages and the stainless steel appliances and the king-size bed slides being enough to keep you from asking what is behind the walls. They are counting on the warranty language being fine print you do not read until it is too late. They are counting on the sunk cost of a 6-figure loan to keep you from walking away when the problems start. They have calculated that the American consumer is easier to manage after the purchase than before it. They are right about most people. Do not be most people. Before you sign anything, learn the acquisition date of the brand you are considering. Ask the service manager what they drive. Ask the dealer what percentage of units come back for warranty work in the first 90 days. Watch what happens to their face when you ask that question. Stop financing their quarterly earnings. Stop paying a premium for a badge that was bought and emptied out a decade ago. The machines that deserve your money are the ones built before the takeover, the ones built by people who still own the company, and the ones built in a country where the inspection regime forces manufacturers to build them right. The open road has not been privatized. The craftsmanship has not been entirely destroyed, but you will not find what is left of it on a Thor dealership lot under a 7-2-month financing offer. Do not let them take your retirement savings for a product that is designed to fail. If you want to know which other industries have been hollowed out by the same private equity playbook and which specific brands have survived it, watch this video next.